Good afternoon, students, and welcome to your Artifact of the Day. I'm your professor, Dr. Rob Steffen, and today we are going to take a look at the Charioteer of Delphi. Now, among the many treasures of Delphi, one statue stands out as a masterpiece of classical Greek bronze sculpture. That is, the Charioteer of Delphi. This nearly life-sized figure dates to about 470 BC. And was part of a much larger dedication to commemorate a chariot race victory at the Pythian Games. Those took place at the site of Delphi. Now, unlike the highly stylized figures of the earlier Greek archaic period, the charioteer exudes a new kind of calm confidence and realism, capturing the moment of triumph with restraint and dignity. Today, we're going to explore how this statue was made, what it meant, and why it remains one of the greatest surviving bronzes in all of antiquity. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the artistry. What makes the Charioteer of Delphi so remarkable is its stunning realism. Unlike earlier archaic choroi, which were rigid and stylized, this statue reflects the advances of classical Greek sculpture, which carefully modeled facial features, intricate details in the hair, and lifelike folds in the long chiton. That's the Greek word for the tunic that the person's wearing. The figure's inlaid eyes, originally made of glass or stone, would have created an incredibly lifelike effect, adding to the intensity of his expression. His posture is formal yet fluid, radiating quiet composure rather than dramatic movement. A true athlete and victor, frozen in time. So to really get a sense for what this thing was like, we have to put on our imagination glasses a little bit, because we're just looking at one small fragment. The Charioteer of Delphi was originally part of a much larger bronze group that included a chariot, 4 horses, and possibly like a groom or handler for those horses. This entire set was a votive offering to the god Apollo, and it was commissioned by Polyzaeus, a Sicilian ruler during the 5th century BC. And that was to commemorate his victory at the Pythian Games. Think of a version of the Olympics, but sort of at Delphi. It was one of the most prestigious competitions in the ancient Greek world. Now, unlike the Olympic Games, which focused more on physical prowess, the Pythian Games also celebrated artistic and musical excellence, aligning well with Delphi's role as the center for prophecy and wisdom. And of course, the home of devotion for the god Apollo, right? The god of music. This dedication was as much a religious offering as it was a public display of power and prestige. So not only is Polyzaeus the Sicilian showing off his piety, he's also showing off his wealth and his prestige compared to other rulers of that age. So how the heck do we still have this thing? Well, ancient Greek bronzes are incredibly rare, because most were melted down for their valuable metal in later centuries. The Charioteer of Delphi survives because it was buried in a rockfall, likely caused by an earthquake sometime in the 4th century or the 300s BC. This preserved it for over 2,000 years. Now, it was rediscovered in 1896, and it astonished archaeologists with its nearly intact form. Unlike marble sculptures, which were a lot more common because you can't really melt them down as easily, bronze statues had a kind of dynamic quality to them, with more intricate details and even more lifelike qualities. And the Charioteer is one of the finest examples to have survived from antiquity. The Charioteer of Delphi is more than just a statue. It's a symbol of victory, of self-control, of political wealth, and of the artistic genius of classical Greece. It represents the transition from the stylized figures of the Archaic period to the naturalism of the classical era, showing how Greek artists were beginning to understand and depict the human form with unprecedented skill. Today, it stands in the Delphi Archaeological Museum, still commanding the same admiration as it did over 2,000 years ago. So next time you see an image of this remarkable bronze, remember, you're looking at a survivor of time and a testament to the skill and ambition of the ancient world. And now, my friend, you are an artifact expert.